Greetings, villain. It is I, the Hamburger, and today we're going over the team for CMM Week 7 against Zom. His team: Rhydon, Goldfish, Lorantis, Sable, Hisuian, Sliggoo, Girder, Clefairy, Ice Cube, Duosion, Persian, and Star Avia. Now, he's got a lot of big threats on the other side. Rhydon, of course, doesn't scare me too much. I do have a whole Floatzel, but it is something I have to consider, considering this is a pretty hard Trick Room team with Duosion, setting up that Trick Room. Persian being a speed Pokemon, not that strong of a Pokemon, so I feel pretty good about that. Staravia, got a Rotom, I don't expect that. Ice Cube, that's not a good Pokemon. Not a real Pokemon, I should say. Clefairy could come. I don't expect it to because of Earthworm, but it could. Girder, I definitely do see coming as soon as I do think that will come. Sableye might, it should. I can't really break Hisuian Sliggoo. Girder is both of the Eviolite. Like Hisuian Sliggoo and Girder are going to be the Eviolite users for sure. Sableye should come because I don't really have a real way to deal super effective damage to it without Grumpig, and it being a Ghost in a Dark type deters me from wanting to bring Grumpig to this battle. I don't have any other fairy coverage on my team. So it should show up, and probably as a way to counter like Floatzel or Earthworm. Lorantis with Contrary with like Superpower and Leaf Storm could be something to watch out for. Quillfish is just going to be like a bulky Pivotmon. It's pretty obvious where the 6 are going to be. Probably Quillfish to Girder and then maybe Persian. He could bring like a sneaky Clefairy or a Rhydon in if he's like really bold. But for the most part, that is the 6 I expect. It really shouldn't be anything different. So, of course, we built the team around that. First off, we have Rotom with the Light Clay, with Thunderbolt, Air Slash, and Ping Split. I'm not really going to try and like make it to where I have to make it to where his I have to burn everything. I know everyone really got time for that. But at least with the Light Clay, Reflect will last longer, make it Spadess, so that way I can live more hits from like Hisuian Sliggoo, and pivot out on that, heal with Pain Split. Things like that of that sort. Of course, next up is Fish Fillet with the Mystic Water. Probably going to be the cleanup Pokemon. If Crash, Low Kick, Flip Turn, Aqua Jet, Low Kick is there for the Hisuian Sliggoo. Duh. These Pokemon, you can see, a very low speed stat. I really don't expect Persian. But even if it does show up, an Adamant Aqua Jet is doing about half to it. It's a Persian. The contenders, the forward there is to make sure it can guarantee outspeed the Quillfish if it's got like a little bit of speed. The 76 here is like for, I think it was like Scarf Staravia. I think. Something like that. Some sort of Scarf Pokemon that I just need to like barely outspeed. Next up is Earthworm, who actually has a very good matchup here. It'd be weird if Earthworm doesn't get a kill this entire battle. With leftovers, Heavy Slam, Body Press, and Earthquake, it has good coverage throughout his entire team. The only Pokemon that really stops it is Sableye, so that's something. Next up is Sandslash, Swords Dance set, not with Sandstorm. I feel pretty good that Sandslash can put into some work without it. Earthquake knockout from Rapid Spin, of course, with the boots, just in case he does want to bring some hazard stuff like with like Rhydon. Of course, next up is McChicken with Night Slash, Dual Peck, Sucker Punch, and U-Turn. This is going to be a Scopeland Super-like Pokemon, mainly here to do some big damage. Of course, that's 116 speed. To make sure we can outspeed Pokemon like Quillfish and Staravia. Just making sure I can outspeed those Pokemon. And then last but certainly not least, we have Guts, or Flareon, just to nuke some holes into this team. And we can get in some other Pokemon later in the end to clean up the game. Of course, spec prep for the same stuff. But yeah, this is going to be the team going into this week. I'm super excited to play Zom. Last time we played him, we actually ended up beating him with Terra and Amorous. And he was one of my 2 wins that entire season. The other win coming against ODL Season 1 champion Squeaks. So, Zom and I, we got some history. Hopefully I get to kick his ass again. And yeah, that's going to be the team going into this week of the CMM. So, I'll see you all in the battle and make sure that you guys stay goated just like me. He is playing for a playoff spot, so hopefully we can try to get a win and prevent him from getting too high into the playoff rankings. And I'll see you in the next one. And let me know until next time, prevent Falcon Punch!